Hey, what's up, Romulus? It's Pastor Aaron here of Rise Church, and I want to talk to you for a moment of the concept of life change. Now, life change is something that we hear often, but we really don't ever have that idea that our life can be transformed in just a moment, in just an instant, one touch. One day I go to bed, the next day it's a completely different experience. But let me tell you this, right now you might be feeling hopeless, like life is over, like there's no way things can get better. And can I tell you, you're just in the middle of your story. When God steps into your life, things can change in an instant. You're about to hear this testimony of a guy that I now call a friend and a brother. His name is Youngblood. But can I tell you that Youngblood, that's how we lovingly call him, his story did not begin in a very loving, embracive way. But his life could have been going in one direction. But in one instance, God came into his life and changed the whole future of his destiny. And I want to tell you that God can do the same thing in your life. You're going to hear how Youngblood went from committing a hate crime to now being used by God to do good and serve others. Can I tell you, we at Rise Church love Youngblood. We love him. He's part of our family. He has a wonderful family as well. You might be wondering, can God really change me? Can God really transform my life? Well, I want to share this video with you for you to be encouraged, from you to draw some encouragement from and say, yes, my story is not over. Yes, it doesn't matter how I started. The important thing is that life is not over for me yet. So would you be encouraged as we hear the testimony of Youngblood? Now, at the very end of this video, I want you to click the button that says learn more. I would love to get you connected, help you discover purpose, and help you realize that it doesn't matter if you feel unloved, unwanted, used up, abused. No matter what your story is, you can have a but God transformative moment. And I want to help you do that. Here at Rise Church, our mission is to help you rise to your God-given potential. So let's take a listen from Youngblood, who had an opportunity and decided that it was his time to rise.
Well, hi, I'm Ronald Joshua Youngblood, 40 years old, live in the city of Romulus. I got a beautiful daughter who's going to be 5 months old soon. Very life-changing, beautiful wife. Pretty happy with life. Building inspector with a very large city in the state of Michigan. I've been doing code enforcement and zoning and stuff relative to building codes for going on 4 years now. Still dabbling a little real estate. Been a real estate agent since 2018, I think. Sold some houses and did all that, and was a residential licensed builder. But I wasn't always that way, loving life and feeling happy and having a career. 2006, I got a federal conviction for a hate crime. I burned a cross in front of a biracial family's home. After about a year and a half of interrogations and dealing with federal officers and agents and prosecutors, they finally had my day in court before a judge. I pled guilty, as I felt I should. I was responsible. I did it. Sentenced to 3 years in a federal prison, pretty far from home, off in New Jersey at FCI Fort Dix. I was alone. I had nobody. I didn't have friends there. I didn't have family. I didn't have people that I walk into the chow hall and then suddenly there's a group of people like me calling me over. It didn't work like that. It wasn't like the movies. It was a lot different. I was alone for several weeks by myself, and then one day was Brother Rick, a black man, saw me walking down a hallway and decided to start talking to him. To be honest, I didn't want to hear what he had to tell me. I didn't want to relate to him. I was already depressed, pissed off at myself, mad, regretful, didn't know who I was anymore, and here I was facing this 3-year-long sentence for something really stupid, egregious, and should have never happened and taken place, right? So Rick starts asking me how my day was. So as we're walking down these halls, brick walls, cells, I won't tell you what the bathrooms in there smelled like, but we're walking by those, and he wants to talk to me, he wants to show me something. So he decides to ask me to come to a cell. Well, it's prison. You're not really you question those kind of things when they want to take you somewhere private and show you something. But something said just to follow, just listen. So we went into a 2-man cell, and he's opening his locker. In his locker, he's fidgeting, he's moving stuff around, and I'm thinking he's going to pull out a shank or pull out some other type of weapon. But what he pulls out is this Bible. It's a brown Bible in leather. And you can see on the edges, he spent a lot of time in that Bible because the oils of his thumb were all over the sides of the paper. And so he sits down and he opens up and he tells me that I had no reason to be sad, depressed, bummed out, or none of this, which I actually disclosed to him on the way to the cell. He said, because behold, all who believe in Christ were a new creation. And at the time, I still didn't want to hear it. But I knew he was on to something. And Brother Rick never let me go. The next day, it was something else. And the next day, something else. And the next day, it was another inmate. Before I knew it, I had every black and brown brother of the inmate church, it seemed, lifting me up, praying for me, and giving me some motivation and encouragement. So it did not take a full use of 5 to 10 minutes. It was the love of the black and brown brothers from the inmate church, black, Hispanic, Arabic, and some out of the mosque, that rose me up from white ashes of white supremacy, and something that I really truly did, to show me I can love in myself, believe in myself, go places in life, but most importantly, be forgiven, and that God loved me no matter what I did. So when I thought I was alone throughout life, when I thought I was in prison by myself alone, I wasn't. Jesus was standing right there with me the whole time. There was a man named Aaron Hicks who put a thing on Facebook, starting a church. He was obviously loved the Romulus community and really wanted people to be involved. And something told me to contact him and get to know him. And if he could love and see past what I did, then I would dedicate some time and hopefully call Rise Church home and be a part of something that was going to be great and built for my community. My name is Ronald Joshua Youngblood, and it's my time to rise.